Okay, hello, let's get started. So, I know this title is a bit crazy, but it is also true. So, this is a video will be all about how to save like 182.5 hours per year, 100% guaranteed. So, let me say that one more time. This is all about how to save 182.5 hours per year. And yeah, so let me just break this down. So let's see. So basically, what this is all about, and this is kind of like a system that I created myself, like I think it was like 12 years ago when I was working for one of the biggest companies in my country. So they're doing like billions of dollars in revenue, and basically I had this kind of and I do think it's important to kind of give you kind of my background regarding this because this will also kind of like tell you like who I am and like why yeah, I'm qualified to talk about this. So long story short, I work for one of the biggest companies in my country. Was kind of like a fancy IT position where I was kind of managing like an IT system, SAP, like it's an HR and payroll system, and we were basically paying salaries for over like I think 30,000 people every month. And the workload was so big that I basically had like 150% workload, meaning that obviously me working 100% position, I would never be able to catch up because every single day there was always like 50% on top of the 100% every single time. And basically, I had two choices right there. Like, number one, I knew where this was going to end. Like, if it continued to like go this route, like number one, I would like option number one, I would literally become burnt out, hit the wall, and probably like even worse, I would be like freaking toasted. And that was kind of option number one. And option number two was to kind of like just really kind of like go crazy and find a system, find a solution for this. So basically, what I did, I bought a lot of books, courses, and learned from some of the best kind of like productivity, time management experts out there in the world. And I basically created my own system and I implemented it. So what I was able to do then was that was able to increase my own productivity with 200%, like 200%, which basically means that you are 4xing your productivity. So, what I used to do, and I'm not joking, what I used to do 8 hours per day, I could now do in 2 hours per day consistently every single day. So I was able to take from 8 hours workload, like this was high efficient, top performance workload, 8 hours, and condense it down to 2 hours every single day. So yeah, anyway, so I know a thing or two when it comes to productivity. So let's just like jump straight into it. Let's see here. So basically, this is all about kind of like the concept that I created comes from kind of like the saying, like there's only one way to eat an elephant, and it would be one bite at a time, right? Obviously, we all love elephants and we don't want to eat them, but you get the gist, right? So it's all about kind of like breaking a bigger goal into basically smaller pieces, right? So let me just speed drawing here a bit. So this is all about calculations, right? So if I told you to like, hey, even though I was able to do it, it doesn't mean that like everyone is able to do it. So I can't tell people like, hey, how to save like 6 hours per day. That's like insane and it's like unbelievable and in most cases unrealistic. So I kind of broke it down. So like, can I help you? This is the question to save basically a half hour per day, like 30 minutes. Of course I can. Why? Well, because I was able to save 6 hours per day myself. So, like, I don't care about your situation. Like, and I'm saying this in a nice and kind of like caring way. Like, I do not care about what kind of situation you are. I can help you to save like 30 minutes every single day, like, period. That's like easy peasy. And basically, it's all about math, right? So if you're able to save 30 minutes per day, or this would be like obviously 1.5 hour per day, it's just math. So when we take this and like 0. 0.5 hour per day and basically just multiply it with the amount of days in the year, 365, that will give us 182.5 hours, right? And this is pretty insane. And here's kind of like the case why it's insane. So let me just do the calculations here. So I'm not saying anything wrong, but with like, so let's just do this super simple. So let's say that obviously we will have lunch and everything, but let's say a normal work week, working 8 hours per day, 5 days per week, would be 40 hours per week, right? So let's just do it like this. So if we say a normal work week, and obviously some have lunches, so it's 37.5 hours, but is 40 hours per day. Oh, sorry, per week, like this. This is just math. So if we then take 182.5 and we divide it with 40, that's like, so 102.5 hours, and we divide this by 40 hours, which is a week, basically means that we're freaking getting like, this is crazy. We're basically 4.56 weeks. So if you can implement, and like you've heard this before, it doesn't matter like how good the tips are and how battle tested they are and so on. Like, if you don't implement, nothing is going to change, right? So here's the thing, like, if you can implement this and you can save like just 30 minutes per day, like, it's super easy, I'm telling you. Just 30 minutes per day, you can save 182.5 hours per year. But more importantly, if we break this down to 40 hours per week, 1 week is 40 hours, it's basically 4.56 weeks, so 4.5 weeks. Dude, so like, if you just freaking implement this, you can get 4.5 weeks more in your life every single year. This is like mind blowing. Like, when I like did the calculations and realized this is insane. And you know what they say, like, everyone, like, regardless of how successful people are, like, what everyone has is basically the 25 hours in our day, 24 hours in our day, right? So from all the resources, the most valuable resource is time. And you will also see this with like super successful people that are becoming older and older. Like, obviously, what they really want, they want to spend their fortune is to um, become healthier, live longer, and basically get more time. So that's kind of what I'm kind of, yeah, my point here is that time is the most valuable asset. Okay, so can I just like, okay, let me see if I can just like, so I'm just going to go through this system like super fast here because I don't want to create like a very long and boring video. So basically, this is a system that it's called the kind of the ABCDE method. And this is something that I learned from Brian Tracy. So very important. Like, what I'm sharing now is just like the first step, like the first kind of hack on how to save 30 minutes of your time, right? In my system, obviously, I had a lot of different strategies that I stacked upon each other that basically just like really took off, right? So this is just like one of the systems. So we can kind of call this kind of like time management system. I don't like to use the word hack, but you know what I mean, like hack method, whatever, method one. So this would be one. So would you agree that like if I share this system with you and you implemented it and if you were able to save like 30 minutes every single day, that would be pretty cool, right? So then I can, like, when you implement this, then I can then teach you a new system that you can add on top of that that can help you save another 30 minutes per day. And this is kind of like how you stack, but let's just stick to the point. So this method is called ABCDE method, and this is something I learned from Brian Tracy. And I'm not sure if he was the one that created the system. I think so, but like, don't quote me on that. But actually, basically, what it comes to, I'm just going to try to explain this in a simple way. So when you look at your to-do list, it's all about having the ability to basically use the 80-20 rule, right? So you probably heard the 80-20 rule before. So 80-20 rule, like the Pareto's principle, is that if you have a list of important activities in your business, like 10 things you need to do, in most cases, if you can focus on the most important one, like the 20%, so 20% of the most important tasks will basically generate 80% of the outcome, right? And you probably heard this before. I'm not going to go too much into it, but like, it's basically the 80-20 rule. So that's basically where we start with. So we're basically starting with this before we're using the ABC method. Okay, so I guess I'm actually starting to stack these methods already. But this is kind of like, we kind of call this like the number one, and then this would be number two. So and A, and I'm just like diving straight into it. So A is basically a task that must be done today, if not serious consequences, like super important deadlines, stuff like that. And B are a task that uh, can be done today, if not, like, say, medium consequences. Oh, consequences. And then you have a C task, would basically be, oh, let's see, a task, yeah. A task that doesn't need to be done today, has no consequence. Okay, so let's just start with those. And you know what I'm talking about, right? So there are specific tasks that you probably should do today, and if not, serious consequences, right? Whatever that is, following up a client, making a sale, whatever it is. But like, there are stuff that you need to do today if you want to grow your business, right? And then you have B here. Those are tasks that they can, like, very important that I'm saying can, they can be done today, and they're like medium consequences, right? And then you have C, which is a task that does not need to be done today because it will have no consequences, right? But here's the important thing, and I wasn't thinking of going into it, but I will share it here because I do think it's super important. What most people don't understand is that everyone understands what an A task is, super important, must be done today. But what they don't understand is that a task that is a B task today might become an A task tomorrow. And a task that is a C task today might become a B task tomorrow, and might become an A task like 3 days from now. I'm just using this as an example. So what I'm saying, this is all about kind of like, these deadlines are dynamic and they're constantly changing, right? So this is kind of what you want to kind of have, like, super good control is like, kind of like, when these tasks, like, it will like change the next day and next day and next day. So yeah, I'm just kind of like giving you that insight. And then D, basically D is tasks that you will delegate. It's just like, you just delegate the tasks. That's it. And here you have E, are tasks that you will eliminate. Like, you just don't never, ever, ever freaking do it. So to use an example, like in my business, like, I'm running like one of the top like paid advertising agencies in the world. And basically what I never, ever, ever do, like, I don't help my clients with organic stuff. Like, hey, they want to post on Instagram, they want to post on, yeah, Snapchat, whatever. Like I don't do it at all because like even though like I know a bit about organic, like I just don't touch it at all because it's not within my zone of genius, right? So I just like don't touch it at all. So if people are like, "Hey, Tor, can you like help me to create like a nice logo?" It's just like, "Hey, I'm not a graphic designer. Like I'm a paid ads um, marketer. Like we'll have to find someone else to do that kind of stuff." So that's kind of just like tasks that that you just want to eliminate in your business, right? So it's all about this system is to use the 80-20 rule, and then you will basically take the tasks today, A, B, C, D, and E, and then you will do this like every single day. So the tasks that might be like an B task today might be an A task tomorrow, and a task that is a C task today might be a B task tomorrow, right? So they're kind of like gradually increasing. So yeah, so let me know if this makes sense. Like this is literally like the two kind of like the methods that I use to like basically save like 6 hours in per workday consistently when I in my corporate business. And this is kind of what most people don't understand. Like even as business owners, like if you want to like dominate your competition, you need to be better with your top performance, which again give you need to be better to save time. So in order to beat your competition, it's also about it's about several things, but two things to just make it super simple. Number one, stop doing stupid stuff or stop doing wrong stuff, so you will save time. And then okay, you save this time, you save this like 4.5 weeks per year or 182.5 hours per year. Okay, then the next question, like the $1 million question, is okay, you got more time, what you going to do with it? Are you going to sit there like in your PJ and binge watching like your favorite Netflix series? Or are you going to get to work and kind of like roll up your sleeves and just like totally freaking crush it? And yeah, get a leg up compared to your competitors. Like what it's not just about like saving time, but basically what are you using the save time for, right? So what you really want to do is to kind of like save time, and then you want to put it into like the most income generating activities in your business. Then this is kind of how some business owners are able to like not just like 2x, but 3x and 4x their business, maybe 5 and 6x their business in a single year, right? So, okay, I just like leave it to that. This was a bit longer than, planned, but like, listen to me, like with every single fiber in my body, like this stuff works. Just freaking implement it and you will thank yourself later. Okay, if you have any questions or there are some topics that you want me to cover regarding productivity, mindset, paid advertising, marketing, or just like, yeah, making a lot of sales online, just like comment in the comment section below. And yeah, I might cover that in a future video. Okay, bye bye.